Hello and welcome back to Gamedec. Last time we finished our mission and decided that we were going to go and do a new investigation with Ken. However, we don't know where he is right now, so that is the first part of the investigation. My head was killing me. I noticed that Ken had already taken off. Ken wanted to meet and talk about his case. We hadn't discussed the time and place though. Let's ask Bliss. Sure. We got anything here we can unlock? No, because we have absolutely no puzzle pieces. Fair enough. Let's have a look at our window. Warsaw City, my polis. Oh, nothing new this time. Okay. Don't even get a drink. Alright, where's Bliss? Bliss is this one, right? Oh, I got a text from Ken. Hi, no idea why you turned off your walktail. What are you, a stegosaurus? Let's meet a Yeti's coming tonight. It's low, really low. The roof of the Undercity. I'll be waiting for you. Oh, okay. So I believe that that is the bar where the demo I played was set. Now the demo I have absolutely no idea what was happening in, because basically it was just a lot of chaos with, you know, half-explained lore in it. But this sounds interesting. Yeah, let's go and see whether we get a better outcome this time. I came across something interesting, but no point in talking about it now since you're not here. See ya. I didn't know what he meant by saying that my walktail was off. He could have just sensed me but sent a text instead. It was strange. It is a little odd. But you know what isn't odd? Buying more ships in fake Star Citizen. So let's go. As usual, the computer recognized me, and the familiar desktop appeared on the screen. Games. Void Stars. I checked my account. Let's read the news. Welcome to the Void. We know you want to play, and so do we. Unfortunately, we are carrying out a maintenance check, so we can constantly improve. We'll be back soon. Too bad. I wanted to see the Vulture in space, or in front of a cosmoport, or maybe among other ships, pretty much anywhere in the game. Let's browse my fleet. I never got bored of this. I opened the hangar and spawned my rides again. What a beautiful view, starting from the lightest vessels, Flyrock and Interceptor spacecraft, Slidehawk and assault vessel, Orca, an infantry-carrying dropship, the gunship Giant and the two jewels in the crown Corsair, a big exploration ship, and Skywalk, a merchant vessel, as solid as it was bulky. Beauties, all of them. Finally, the latest, most gorgeous addition, the Vulture X, a deep-use multi-use deep reconnaissance unit. I loved and missed it already. Alright, have we got any news on Harvest Time? I checked what was going on in Harvest Time. Your uncle is turning over in your grave. Sheriff, you want to, or your cows are crying. Sheriff, you want to? Deputy, you took it upon yourself to wear the star symbolizing your commitment to the High Rock community. They're waiting for you. If you don't show up in time within the next 3 days, your star will be forfeit and the inhabitants of High Rock left inconsolable. Anything else? Your uncle is turning over in his grave? Rancher, we're writing out of concern. Your uncle left you a farm. A nice piece of land. You've yet to touch a hoe. Shame on you. No, I have. I did plenty of farming. Visit your farm. Get your hands dirty. Feel the softness of strawberries. Lose yourself in nature. You'd make your uncle proud. Cows are crying? Rancher, your cows are crying. Your pumpkin patch is drying up. Will you stand idly by as your animals suffer and crops go to waste? Earn gold coins. Breathe in the fresh air. Smelling of nature in the Wild West. We're waiting for you. Yeah, we'll leave that. Let's look at our mail. Okay. We've got mail from Rusty Ed's guild. John, in our guild, you've agreed to receive our email newsletter, which is why this went right into the spam folder. Professor Locke? Dear sir, if your interest in my research was more than misguided politeness... I didn't read on. I sent a polite reply to the tune of, duty calls, time is short, and wished him all the best. Alright, net? Nothing here. Cool. Anything to do with our couch now? Nope. Okay. Holovision? What's new on the news?
Breaking news.
My name is Carla Kolumna, and this is the latest news. Outrage at the Net Foundation. The founder of the organization, Nanette D, is suspected of forcing children into slave labor. This outrageous activity was operating under the guise of Nanette's Gardens, an activity program for children living in poverty. The program was supposed to combine fun and education on a farm in the harvest time Virtulium. In reality, the children were being forced to perform ceaseless labor and grind for items that were later sold on RMAH auctions. This has been Warsaw City News, your source for up-to-date domestic and international news all day long. Okay, so, it looks like she took the blame even though we blamed the child, which I guess would make sense. She kind of was to blame. Anyway, I'm guessing that's because we called the police. Let's have a look at Bliss. Nothing happening with Bliss. Okay, anything new? No, I guess we're just going to go meet Ken then. Okay. Let's go to Low City, where we came from. So, I imagine that our background's going to be helpful here. Okay. Let's go. Yeah, so this is exactly where the demo loaded you in. So, yeah, let's see what happens. Captain, the case can't be that simple. It is, Corn. The boy was... Oh, it's gone. With all due respect, sir, those beacons don't make mistakes. Well, this one did. If that's true. Do you realize what kind of position this puts us in? Okay, interesting. Hello. Cornelia, this man, this Ken Zhao was his name. Yes, Ken Zhao, he's dead. Nothing will change that. Oh, right. I had forgotten the name of the person who had died in this investigation. Well, that's unfortunate for Ken. Understand, Captain. What you need to understand is that closing the case this way will reflect badly on our organization. That's neither your business nor responsibility, Sergeant Delia. The man was interrupted by a voice coming from the communicator. Captain, there's a doctor here. His name is Pax and he wants to... What? We don't need that dipshit here. Sergeant Delia, we'll return to this later. I'm coming, Rama. The Outranger looked at me angrily. We don't let civilians in. Move along, please. Mindfluencer, we could invoke the law. Can we become a Mindfluencer? We could. We could. Okay. Name a Gamedec, ask about Ken, or Vetter. You know what? Let's become a Mindfluencer. It only costs us mostly red, which we have a lot of. We have a lot of yellow, and 1 green. We can do that. As masters of manipulation say, everything is a sale. From a certain point of view, they're right. Anything can be sold if you know what you're doing. You do know. You know all the methods of persuasion. Your knowledge, experience, and connections enable you to create an argumentative mix that's hard to resist. Let's go. We're a Mindfluencer now. Achievement unlocked. Me smart. SMRT. Yep, let's go. If the area enclosed by the services is not classified as incommunicado, the Gamedec, by definition obliged to know the rules of movement, is allowed to... No need to finish, Gamedec. You are correct. Come in. I love that we could have just said, I'm a Gamedec, and got the exact same result, but instead what we did is we came in and we were like, here's the exact law for why a Gamedec is allowed in. She's just like, I don't care. You're a Gamedec. You got it. So deduction. So it says that we have to gather hypotheses about Ken's death, but that isn't actually our deduction on this side. So these must be different things. Interesting. Hello. The Outranger frantically flipped through the data on the infolia. She didn't pay attention to me. Oh, it's you. What do you need? Past choices. Oh, that from, like, I guess from being here to talking to her now, that's a past choice. It kind of seems like it was just, you know, the way to get in, but whatever. Let's ask her name. Your name is Cornelia Delia. Quite peculiar. What's it to you, pal? I didn't choose my name or my surname. It's from the Rejuvenation era. I guess it's fine, but I hate Cornelia. It was my grandma's name. Anyway, I don't want to talk about it. Alright, let's ask about Ken's death. Ken Zhao's death. What's your hypothesis? Why? Did you hear the story the captain is trying to shove down our throats? That beacon bullshit? Why do you think it's bullshit? Because it doesn't really add up. And even if, I can't stress this enough, even if it did, it would be damned harmful to us. Why doesn't it add up? What exactly doesn't add up about the hypothesis? Well, for one, the beacon's logs are empty, and of course the report doesn't even mention this. Do you think the captain is obstructing the investigation? Are you suggesting the captain is deliberately obstructing the investigation? The woman's face turned grey and she made a quick hand gesture as if she were brushing dust off her armour. I didn't say anything of the sort. I'm sure the captain is acting in accordance with applicable regulations. She repeated the gesture. We can recognise it? I smiled to myself. She was recording our conversation. Oh, okay. So she doesn't want to have anything that's recorded come back to her. Are you afraid? I can see you recording this. Are you afraid of something? I'm not I don't want to be in any shit with my supervisor again. Okay. Or she's worried that we're going to find out and then she's going to be blamed anyway and she wants proof that she didn't say anything. Alright, let's ask about her hypothesis. Okay, so what do you think happened? He was shot, that's certain, but not by a beacon. A human did this. Okay. Interesting. Unit. You flew here with an entire unit. Is there anything I should know about? So, okay, so this is different hypotheses are going to be here. But interestingly, it says 0 of 3 when it was over here. But in the deduction, we have 4 options. That's intriguing. So, gunshot. Someone shot Ken while he was hanging around Yeti's coming. So we could say that he shot himself, nobody shot anyone, or we've got no other detail. Okay. I wouldn't call us a unit yet. We still need to work some things out, and I'm not sure we ever will. So far, it's a group of mavericks. The drone operator is a spoiled kid in an unbelievably expensive genskin. Captain Basilidis struggles with his own demons, and then there's Tancred. Let's ask about the captain's demons. What do you mean when you said the captain struggles with his own demons? Ooh, we just got a codex entry. Ah, for the captain. Bitten. A tragic accident happened today on the other side of the ABBs. A man has been bitten by an unidentified arthropod during a routine outranger patrol. When the rescue team arrived, Dr. Samuel P. made the dramatic decision to decapitate the patient, who turned out to be a civilian. Unconfirmed sources claim that the man, Michael S., didn't have the required pheromone implants to protect the outrangers against mutated fauna. Now, small spoiler, so skip forward 10 seconds if you don't want to hear it, but I believe that this is the same doctor who is currently at this scene. The same sources suggest the victim was closely related to Captain Barnaba B., the commander of the ill-fated patrol. The captain has initiated court proceedings regarding the decapitation of Michael S. The trespassing of the ABBs by an unvaccinated civilian will be, to quote Harold Orion, the Outranger spokesman, investigated internally. Stay tuned for sports and esports news. Don't go anywhere. Okay. So we've got him as one of our characters now. How many characters do we have left? Okay, so we're about half the characters unexplored. Rotulium? Hexel. A fractal pixel of 3-dimensional space. Hexels make a flat screen act like a window. Depending on the angle of view, one can see different fragments of 3-dimensional landscapes behind the scene. Okay. Idelheim syndrome. Okay, first detected in 2195 by Stanley Tchaikovsky, who worked at Nantronic Arts Internal Services in the sensory world of Dreamspace. It accelerates the player's aging process as a result of introducing illegal virtual time-compressing software into a game. Okay, so this one is from the previous case. So this was the syndrome that potentially could have been caused by these speed hacks that were being used in Harvest Time. The first victim of AS was Bronislaw Adamski, known in Dreamspace as Bruno Adelheim, who showed strong symptoms of game addiction. In B. Adamski's autopsy, it was determined that his biological age was around 95, despite the age of 40 being listed in the register. B. Adamski developed an aforementioned cheat and implemented it in Dreamspace, which allowed him to grow an impressive chain of factories. Within 3 decades, he became the wealthiest man in the game. In Relium, he was a poor bachelor who supported himself by selling Dreamspace bonuses to wealthy players. The mechanisms through which game time affects the player's temporal metabolism are still being examined. The hypotheses currently being explored during DNA telomere shortening, mitochondrial DNA aging, autoimmune mechanisms, synaptic nervous system affecting the rate of cell division, and others. No coherent theory explaining this phenomenon has yet been formulated. The problem with determining how Adelheim syndrome actually works is the inability to conduct human experiments with the aforementioned cheat. Test subjects would have to be exposed to a program hazardous to their health, which would be unethical. So far, experiments on animals introduced into sensory worlds and exposed to time acceleration programs have yielded no tangible results. Interesting. Organizations, Outrangers. Let me tell you, Betty, there are no real men anymore. No, there aren't, Wilma. Unless we're talking about the Outrangers. Oh yeah, they are superheroes. I wish I knew one. Well, now's your chance, because they've invited a real green one. You didn't. Or I've invited a real green one. You didn't. Lieutenant Adams, you can stop hiding now. Please join us. Oh wow, a real ranger. Please have a seat. But do sit next to me. God, look at that armor. It's getting hot in here, isn't it? Hey there, stud. Hello, ladies. Lieutenant, please tell us a little about yourself. You can start with your address. Wilma, have you looked at the man? Okay, where do I start? The Outrangers are a paramilitary organization started in 2073. A bit less historical, a bit more personal, please. Wilma! Ahem. It's an international organization working in close cooperation with the Mutation Control Center. We are trained and prepared to penetrate areas beyond the ABBs. Penetrate? I have something you can penetrate. I'll have to agree with you on this one, Wilma. Usually we fly over the jungle, but sometimes we perform foot patrols, which are extremely dangerous. There are also rescue missions. When some reckless tourist goes on a trip beyond the... link. Okay, ABBs. On their own? Exactly, ma'am. We also perform maintenance on MCC beacons, fetch data from them, and protect the residents of the polis's lowest levels. It's so romantic. My god, I think I'm in love, or in lust. I can give you my address if you still... yes, please. Okay, Wilma and Betty show. Not always for kids. You don't say. Okay, Relium. Oh, we have more stuff. Warsaw City. We have a new thing in World. High City. The unofficial name for the highest levels of a polis. High cities feature walking platforms, flying junks, and the densest network of numobile routes. It's become customary to believe that high cities end at the level where the highest reaching routes of the public transportation tubes are located. Oh, this wasn't the new one. I guess it's Undercity. Undercities. A common name for city ruins on which the polises were built. Undercities are mostly desolate, and the only people who live there are the occasional outlaw group of primitive techno-tribes that never venture to actual polises. The ROU layer is the border of their kingdom. Undercities are sometimes raided by gangs that ransack basements of old houses and apartment buildings looking for artifacts from before the IT era. Okay, Renewal Era. An enthusiastic socio-economic movement that followed the Great Temporal Crash of 2120. Just incredibly descriptive about what exactly this is, but okay. Organophobia? A sexual disorder whose main component is being repulsed by the thought of having organic sexual partners. An organophobe achieves sexual gratification by engaging in sexual intercourse with virtual characters who have been visually modified using AR technology. Okay, I don't know what the context was for this one popping up, but okay. Maybe it's his demon. Let's keep this between you and me, but he's been acting really weird. Work used to be the most important thing for him, but now... It's just a hunch, but it seems as though he's struggling between his duty and emotions. No, not like that. He seems conflicted between service and family. I may be wrong. I'm not a telepath. Either way, something's eating him and it's sad. Let's inquire about the drone operator's genskin. The drone operator is using expensive genskin. Can Outrangers even use those? They can. It's actually safer that way. And yes, it's terribly expensive. I've never seen one like this before. I'll send you an article. Oh, okay, I guess that's what we got sent. Gossip. What's the story, honey? I have a hot piece of gossip about the Toads. The Outrangers, I love it. It's a romance. You're joking. A virtual one. No way. Oh yes, and on top of that, some embezzlement. Tell me, I'm shaking. So there's this captain, let's call him B. We don't want to deal with court slander suits and all that stuff. Right, how about Bob? Do you like Bob? Oh, Bob is fine. So Bob has a lover. Outranger Bob found love that's so romantic. And this lover of his, let's call him M. Martin. Martin it is. So Martin is a zoonet. All he has left is his head. Even less, actually. Poor guy. He had an accident. I can't tell you more or they'll fire me. That's fine, honey. So as you can imagine, this head has to be cared for, nursed. It's a lot of work, basically a full-time job, plus it costs a fortune. Right. And our captain got this money somehow. Was his salary not enough? According to estimates provided by various gossipers, the captain's outranger salary may not be sufficient to cope with such a burden. Plus, recently our Martin was moved to a netrium, minus the head. That's even more expensive. It's getting interesting. Right, the captain guy's always had an impeccable reputation. He's a decorated and respected disciplinarian. And suddenly a lot of Outrangers weaponry and some augmented armor disappeared from their storage. You know, this kind of equipment is really sought after by all kinds of mercenaries, and these people pay well. Maybe somebody broke in. Maybe, but you see, the netrium, poor Martin, the captain's son wealth, it's then such a coincidence. Oh, Shiva, I'd love to find out the truth. But without it, all we'd have left is gossip, right? Okay, so, our captain was going out with Martin. Martin was then bitten on the other side of the ABBs, and he didn't have the correct pheromone, and he was decapitated by Samuel P. Okay. And then technologies and mobriums. News. Genskin Alpha. The new Alpha Genskins by Zoonet Labs entered the market yesterday. Although conceptually Genskins are basically high-end mobriums, seeing as the alphas connect living tissue to mechanical parts and are able to perfectly mimic a human being, they have already become that which normal gemskins are to mobriums. To put it briefly, alphas are the Irari among genskins, at least according to the manufacturer. Then what is it that makes them so special? First, living tissue has a greater regenerative capacity. It regenerates without any scarring and blemishes. Ours is achieved through applying a unique exposure of stem cells, as well as suppressing certain elements of the immune system. However, lest this concern you, the procedure does not increase the risk of infection, as the alpha's living parts show extraordinarily resilience to infection and poison. This is the result of a repaired gene encoding theta defensin, a protein present in the apes of the old world, those of the new world, and orangutans. Let us recall that this gene is damaged in ordinary humans, which makes us much more prone to disease. The alpha's tissue has this gene. When it comes to the alpha's mechanical parts, they are similar to those found in other genskins. While supposedly being capable of imitating the entire human skeletal system, making it impossible to detect the presence of a genskin by performing a cursory X-ray, how they managed to conceal the Vaghir battery is a mystery to us. Well, an alpha is just that, an alpha. Don't worry if you can afford one. I assure you that an ordinary genskin is also a big ticket item. Okay. So, a fancy genskin. Good to know. So we have one hypothesis. Let's walk down here and see what's going on. Ooh. A Beowulf transporter. Oh, that'll be this thing. Beowulf, the Outranger's vehicle. They must have arrived in it. Look through the window. Outrangers have their quirks. For one, they adore fresh air, so the windows in their vehicles are always half open. They also dislike circuitry, so I wasn't surprised to see an ignition slot. The key was missing though. The driver must have had it. I'm going to reach into the trophy case. On the pilot seat I found a familiar box made of steel, a trophy case. Every kid knows what they look like. Wait for that to pass. The window was slightly lowered, so I managed to reach into the cabin and feel the box with my hand. It was closed with a latch. Break it. I tried to pry it open like they did in old Hollow movies. Something clicked, the lights on the box lit up, and the alarm went off. An unauthorized de-encapsulation attempt has been detected. Warning, possible environmental contamination. Content decontamination procedure initiated. The box hissed as if preparing a cocktail. The indicators lit up and I heard muffled sounds of an explosion coming from the inside. If there was any evidence inside, I must have destroyed it. Well, that's not good. Alright, so it needed us to be Street Hound to open it. It is quite far away from where we are now, so we probably wouldn't have opened it anyway. So I think we're fine. Right, organizations, Outrangers, world. The Outrangers are known to collect trophies with which they sometimes adorn their armor. These can be fangs, claws, or antlers of animals they've killed. An Outranger only shoots animals in self-defense. Newly acquired trophies are kept in sealed chests until they are disinfected. Fair enough. Trash. The garbage can was fixed in plastic concrete as if saying, "I'll stay here forever. Inspect it." It was filled with cheap game pill packages, disposable drug dispensers, and bottom shelf liquor bottles. Think about whether the garbage reflects a need for instant gratification. People try to escape the reality that surrounds them, hence all the liquor, games, and drugs. If you're running from Relium, that means it's hurting you, and you have neither strength nor patience for it. Anywhere's better than the here and now. When you choose to get high, reality adapts to you, not the other way around. It's really something. Search it. Just straight into the trash. What have we got? Anything good? I put my arm deep inside the sea of waste. Some leftovers from overcooked dumplings stuck on to my sleeve. Not only did I not find anything useful, the wet dough left a greasy stain and a bad smell. Well, that's a good start. Anything over here? No. Up here? Ooh, key. Pick it up. There's a key to the vehicle. It had the symbols of the Outrangers on it. Aha! I can open the transport now. Except I can't. You know, I think I might do something I very rarely do. You know what we'll do first? We'll quick save. I'm going to reload. Let's reload here. It won't take us that long to get back because it was a lot of reading in between point A and point B. So let's see what happens. What happens if we get the key first? Hello. Yep. Yeah, Manus packs, they're running away. We then take Mindfluencer. Cool. Invoke the law. And then cross over. Hello. We ask about her name. She says it's very weird. We ask about Ken's death. Why do you think it's bullshit? Why doesn't it add up? Is the captain obstructing the investigation? Recognize the gesture. Ask if she's afraid. Ask her about the hypothesis. Ask about her unit. Captain's demons. The gen skin. And then we're done. Right. Then we're going to go through all of these just so we have them. Right. Mobrium's. Oh, we didn't. Mobrium's news. There we go. Organizations. Relium. We didn't learn anything new there. That's fine. World. We got that. Oh, yeah. There we go. So now we have everything. We have the new deduction stuff in here. Cool. So now we're going to ignore that. We're going to walk directly over here. Grab the key. So now I have the key. I can let myself into the vehicle, I guess. Use key. There we go. Nothing makes opening a lock easier than having the right key. I looked inside. Nothing. Inside there was an anti-G harness. Deal with it. Inspect it. A couple of straps and anti-gravity generators which allows the user to float in the air. Examine the harness. Seemed fine, but when I tried to turn it on, it didn't work. I wondered why. Okay. So we did discover some new info there. But that new info hasn't led us to any new deductions. Okay. Interesting. I'm searching the trash can. I just realized I might have skipped some dialogue. That's okay. Might have skipped one singular point up. Okay, we can still inspect it. There we go. Instant gratification. Cool. We're now where we should be. So what's this? Tourist terminal. An old tourist terminal looked ridiculous here. Where were these people supposed to go? To a different polis? To Gaia? Check out the offer. I wondered what that piece of junk could offer people from the lowest layer of the polis. Welcome! Please note that the tourist console belongs to the city Reistic Systems. The offer presented by the device is outdated. Feel free to use the holoscreen standing alongside it to get the latest information, including on tourism. Okay. That's fine. We'll just ignore it. So what's happening over here? Pax, is that you piece of shit? Fantastic, the last thing I need. Pax, you son of a bitch. Get the F out of here. Calm down, sir. I need to do a scan. Why? Not decapitate him while you're at it. You're good at that, aren't you? Mr. Balacedes, it was a long time ago. I'll just wait for the medbot to finish the scan and then I'm gone. Scan a corpse? Why the fuck would you do that? It's standard procedure. Yeah? Where were your procedures when you were diagnosing Michael, you piece of shit? Where were your medibots then? Leave the machine alone, man. You know how much it's worth? I don't fucking care. Alright. Well, I don't really think that the drone had anything to do with it, but that's okay. Well, there's Ken, our friend. Hey, Venom, Vera, who are you? What is it? Let's ask about Ken's death. The man lying dead here, Ken Zhao, how do you think he died? I know what it looks like. Bat wings, the undercity below us, the captain was here first, and took the anti-G harness off him. That's what he claims, at least. I didn't see it, but trust me, it's not the beacon that killed him. It must have been a very weird incident. I don't know. Can't make anything of it. This death must be a damned misunderstanding. The sight is just inhuman. It's disgraceful that he's still here in the wet walkway like a bag of human bones. Okay. Technologies. Orocars. Orocars are vehicles based on anti-G generators and are used for public transport to the lower layers of the polis. Their area of operation is commonly referred to as Low City. MCC beacons. The Mutation Control Center announced a new type of beacon today. The latest addition to the family of Jungle Guardians is named Jaguar and features a new scanner with an extended range from 20 to 35 kilometers. It should be mentioned that scanners used by MCC beacons are not simple radars, but devices able to detect genetic mutations. They could be described as big flying noses that identify aromatic molecules. It's worth mentioning that they also have remarkable eyes that observe a wide range of electromagnetic waves and can spot the smallest organic particles. Do you remember when one of the beacons detected the Culex pipiens Toxica mosquito by capturing part of its wing with the bottom camera? Well, Jaguar's cameras are 3 times as perceptive. This beacon is a lot tougher than the previous ones. Not only will it withstand fierce attacks of bats and birds, but it can also more effectively defend itself thanks to not 1 but 3 plasma guns, claims Colonel Jarosel. Let us remind you that while MCC beacons keep watch over vast stretches of jungles and forests between the polises, as well as over the undercities, it's still extremely dangerous to venture into those places. Okay, so it's looking for genetic mutations, and that's what the beacon then activated on Ken, in theory, did. Or the beacon that activated on Ken did. Okay, Mutation Control Center. An international organization established in 2072 in order to monitor mutating fauna and flora outside the ABBs and Polis Undercities. It cooperates with the Outrangers organization. Helium. Gaia. A planet in the Sigma Draconis Alsafi system terraformed by Mobilenium, the only globe that's been successfully terraformed by humankind. Immigration to Gaia is currently ongoing. Citizens leaving Earth hope that on Gaia they will find better employment opportunities and a healthier natural environment. Okay, so the new hypothesis is that it was an accident. The anti-G harness is broken, and then we have the hypothesis. Ken was flying around using an anti-G harness. Maybe he's looking for something. Maybe he found it and his harness broke and he fell down. Okay, interesting. I mean, we know the harness was broken, so that's good. Let's ask about the beacons. First, how do beacons work in general? They scan their surroundings looking for a new plant and animal species. If a beast comes close, they shoot. These here have a special task. If anything tries to fly or crawl up to the lowest inhabited walkway, beacons have to shoot it down while adhering to all safety measures. People live here. There are 2 dangerous species around these parts. The toxic fruit bat, a seriously big bastard, and the Rattus mordax venatus rat. The rats got clever and don't try climbing up anymore. The bats are dumber and charge sometimes, so the beacons shoot one down occasionally. They fire plasma, that's why there isn't much blood. Well, it is no good, trust me. It attracts a shitload of trouble outside the ABB, and honestly it ruins the view here, so you get it. Okay, so the theory would be with the beacon that he, was flying around. It was like, oh, something's flowing up, and shoots him. Okay, beacon reliability. Maybe the beacon misfired. Does that happen? No, they are advanced artificial intelligence, way smarter than humans. A person could make a mistake, but a beacon, no chance. Believe me, I designed them myself. Let's ask about the anti-G harness. The victim supposedly had an anti-G harness on. Where is it? They say the captain took it off and secured it. I didn't see that happen. It's probably in Beowulf. Okay. So we already know about that. So, beacon hypothesis. He was flying above the low city walkways using an anti-G harness. He was carrying an Ilgen that generated an image of membrous wings. An MCC beacon mistook him for a bat and shot him down. They fire plasma. Anti-G harness doesn't work. Venon Vera claims that beacons don't make mistakes, and the beacon's logs haven't registered a shot being fired. Interesting. So, we can maybe look into that more. I'll leave Ken's body for just now until we have a little chat around with other people. What's up with you? A mock drone. Police use these drones such as these. They scan dangerous and suspicious places. They're also able to detect mental constellations characteristic of sociopaths and potential murderers. Hack it. City network access helps with this kind of thing. Realistic system admin credentials helps too. The right name was key. I had to find it. I browsed the data in search of signatures that fit the drone, and a few caught my attention. Pantaloon, Rami, and Outranger. We need to know who these people are, I think, before we can hack it. Okay. Hello, Captain. A well-built man was loitering on the sidewalk and giving the doctor menacing looks. Let's introduce ourselves first. My name is Alpax. Just what we need, a Gamedec. Who let you in? I'm going to refer to the regulations. I'm a Gamedec and I have a right to be here. If you have any doubts, check them against the regulations. The man narrowed his eyes. Who doesn't love losing control of the situation? A wonderful feeling. So, family or service? Let's ask about Ken's death first. How did Ken die? However terrible it may sound, it seems that an MCC beacon mistook him for some kind of bat and fired at him. Okay. Can I have access to the drone? I need access to your drone. Do you now? And I need access to an anti-gravity shower and some good tea. You know what, Gamedec? I won't get that either. So we go family and say that Ken is somebody's son too? We should take his duty seriously. Let's try and appeal to his softer side. See that body soaking on the sidewalk? He had parents, you know. What would you say to his mother? That he'd like some good tea? I don't know what I would say. And don't bother with guilt trips. She isn't here, is she? What does that say about her? Probably that you haven't told her yet, I would imagine. Let's ask about his conflict with Pax. You and this doctor seem to hate each other. The man snorted, clenched his fist, and the metal parts of his glove creaked. You think so? Where did you get this from? I'll mention my sources. Don't ask for details, but I have my sources. I know things, and I don't need to witness an argument to know what happened. The man nodded. It seemed that keeping my sources anonymous made an impression on him. Oh, we're moving to service. Pax and I have a history. It's not one with a happy ending. I'd rather he left. Let's ask about his history. So you and Pax, what happened? The man rubbed his eyebrows and sighed. It was little over a year ago. Our unit was on patrol duty behind the ABB. My husband, Michael, was with us. There weren't many dangerous species in that area. Well, except for insects. They're everywhere. Michael, the man looked down and grunted. He swallowed and straightened up. A gadfly bit his neck. Hypodermia bovis toxica It got really swollen, so we quickly evacuated. Then an ambulance arrived, and Pax was in it. He was arrogant and confident. The fool said that it wasn't a gadfly, but a Brazilian wandering spider that lost its fucking pedipalp. Inquire about them? What's a pedipalp? Each spider has two. They're part of the mouth. They plunge them into their victims and inject the digestive juices. Despite our protests, Pax ordered decapitation to save Michael's life. He lost his body because of that moron. Now he's an involuntary Zeonet. Keeping his head alive costs a fortune, and we can't afford to regenerate his whole body. It's too expensive. With one decision unsupported by any evidence, this prick turned our life into a nightmare. The man cleared his throat. So, this is our history, my friend. No happy ending for me, since we don't see a way out. Well, never mind. Why should he leave? So why do you want Dr. Pax to leave? I mean, it's fairly obvious, but we're asking it anyway. The man frowned and shuffled his armored boots. He brings back some painful memories. I'm not going to offer help just yet. I'm going to back out. Can I have access to the body? I need access to the body. I'd like to take a look at it. I have more important things to worry about, son. We could remind him of his duties and go to service, or say that we knew Ken. That's going to move him towards family. Let's try and remind him of his duties. Captain, a man has died. It's both our responsibility to get to the truth. We must find the cause of his death, no matter the consequences. Don't try to challenge my sense of responsibility, son. Don't. Okay, so we've unlocked this. We could ask whether he's sabotaging the investigation, or about Pax. Let's risk it. Are you sabotaging the investigation? I'm sorry, Captain, but shouldn't the Outrangers try to divert suspicion away from the beacon? What are you implying, son? I'll let it go for just now. Okay, inquire about Pax. Leave. You have anything else for me? We can't accuse him anymore. Interesting. You could offer assistance. He might let us have assistance. Okay, we'll leave that be. Let's talk to Operator Matan. He winced and waved at me to stop as I approached. So a past choice affected this? Dude, I get that people from around here are poor, but make sure you're showered before coming close to me. We went in the bin. Well, I don't know how we fix that, so we'll leave it be for just now. Anything else around here? New MCC boy? Mutation Control Center Beacon. What a zeitgeist. An AI-equipped guard that protects us from mutated plants and animals. Hack it. Okay, but we need to know which one of these we're going for as well. Alright. We'll leave it be for just now. What have we got here? Advertising drone. I walked up to the edge of the sidewalk. It was a good place for the ad drone to spot me. Bored with your existence? Not getting enough sunlight in the lower levels? Treat yourself to a trip to the Ecologos Bioestates and enjoy the warm sunshine for an entire day. The bioestates are located within ABBs. Eat natural meals, touch natural materials, discover exotic art flora. The Ecologos Bioestates are not responsible for any complications caused by intense contact with nature. Afraid? Learn more on our website. Analyze. It was a standard advertising drone. Even though it operated in the lowest layer of Warsaw City, it was in good shape. In between ads, I noticed the face of a Diginet I once met. Let's tune into it. Hey, I know you're watching me. Greetings, Gamedec. Actually, I'm watching someone else. Who are you watching? You're not following me, then who? Oh, random encounter achievement. Okay. That handsome Outranger. Ever since I regained my freedom, I like to watch different men. Honey Bunny is sweet and all, but so are the others. Okay. Did you see what happened here? You see what happened here? I mean, you know, how that guy died? You know I don't perceive the world in the same way others do. I don't really understand it. It's unclear to me what happened here. It's as if this man fell from the sky. Or no. More like, I can't explain. The taste of cherries. The grayness of dying. I don't know. Let's ask for access to the drone. I'd use access to that drone, could you? Anything for you, Gamedec. Here you go. Wait, so do we have access to this drone now? Is that what we're saying? No, wait, which... Or was it the... Oh, the advertising drone, I see. Drone displayed a message. Advert, Pole X, your global local ad provider, or Sith... I don't know, you should type something, you fucking slot machine. Okay. Maybe it's the drone over there I now have access to? Let's see. I just said the drone. It could be any drone, really. This one? Nope, so not that drone. So it's a different drone nearby I now have access to, or it was the advertising one and now it's broken. I don't know. Possibly. We haven't really investigated the murder yet, but that's alright. Let's speak to... Can I look at the bin? No. Let's speak to this guy. Goddamn asshole. The man cursed under his breath and repeatedly tried to pull out a smoke with trembling hands. The cigarette fell to the ground. Fuck. He glared at this soaking wet tobacco as if deliberating whether it was worth picking up. He shrugged and pulled out another cigarette. Fuck all of this. He only noticed me once he lit up and inhaled deeply. He sent me a quizzical glance. Let's ask about Ken's death. I have a few questions and I wanted. Pax raised his hand. He took a pack of real nicotine cigarettes out of his pocket. From another he recovered a lighter engraved with Asclepius's cane. He lit up lazily and took the smoke in, tasting it. I'm burning to help. Sadly, my fire is being doused by a certain problem and there's a hideous toad roaming around here interrupting my work. For as Low City we can show contempt for the Outrangers. Let's go Low City? Toads, huh? Only thing I remember from their Low City patrols is the contempt they showed to the inhabitants. Let's see what we got. Outrangers. And then Toads. Informal name for the Outrangers used on the lower levels of the polis. Fair enough. Bioestates. Self-sufficient villages located within ABBs which rely entirely on our archiflora. That's spelt differently than it was previously. The inhabitants of these areas live in tree sheds, while all architectural elements such as walkways, bridges, windows, etc. are built from genetically modified plants. Bioestates are inhabited by enthusiasts of nature and healthy lifestyles. They pretend to care about us, but only think of us as city dwellers. Screw them. He looked at me with a mix of amusement and pity. He wanted to say something, but a coughing fit interrupted him. Once he had it under control, he took a drag on his cigarette as if nothing had happened. Let's ask how he's feeling. To tell the truth, you don't look too well. Are you alright? He smiled crudely and inhaled more smoke. I feel excellent for a guy who will soon rendezvous with the Reaper. Are you dying? Are you dying? Not at the moment. I'll fire up the engines in about 3 months and then I'll fly away. Too bad Gaia isn't the destination. He looked at the Medabot and exhaled smoke, barely stopping himself from coughing, assuming the diagnosis is correct. Medabot. Medabot, a medical robot equipped with advanced artificial intelligence. It can run detailed diagnostics, implement life-saving procedures, stabilize an injured person's condition, and perform multiple kinds of surgery. Medabots execute commands given by authorized personnel. It can only act autonomously when its analysis proves that the life of an observed person is in imminent danger, but even then the injured patient must first consent to the planned procedures. Relium. Gaia. A planet in this... Oh, we already had that one. Gossip. Oh, it's Betty again. Guess what, Betty? My friend Irma, you know her? She immigrated to Gaia. No kidding, wasn't she afraid? Wait, it's like 19 light years from Earth. System Sigma Draconis, a lovely mutation-free brand new planet. God, please stop or I'll buy a ticket myself. Would you get on a transport ship with 50,000 people on board? I wouldn't. Then you won't go to Gaia, honey. It's the only kind of ship that flies there. But tell me, does she like it there? Everyone does. New prospects, new world. It's almost as if you're starting from scratch. That reminds me, there isn't a single polis there. There isn't? Then where do they live? In megacities, they're basically huge towers. You know, one tower, one city. They look very elegant. Sounds dreamy. Oh, this is their morning show, I see, so they're slightly tamer. He coughed, but kept the smoke in his mouth. The cigarette paper started soaking with red. He grabbed the wet bud and looked at it with disgust. He tossed it into the abyss below us and lit up another. It probably is. So what's wrong with you? Stem cell cancer, no cure. Believe me, I'm a doctor. If we were a brain fixer, we could confirm he's screwed. Well, that doesn't really seem like that would have helped us anyway. Do you have connections? But you're a doctor, you could send your friends, I'm sure they would. He stopped me with a gesture. A BLB is the only thing that could help me. Can't afford it, too many debts, and I'm tired. No more of this. Let's ask about his conflict with the captain. Seems like you and the captain go way back. Yeah. Let's ask about their story. What happened between you two? What's your story? He took a puff and exhaled through the nose. He ruined my career. Started over a year ago. I worked in the Warsaw City Central Hospital. I had a respectable position. Second-degree specialization. We got a call to the ABB, a bite or a sting. I went there with a team. Landed right by the barrier. An outranger unit led by Basilides was scrambling. The victim was a civilian, the captain's partner. Michael Sosnowski. He took a long drag, staring into the distance. When he finally exhaled, a pale blue cloud enveloped him. We'll keep listening. Something bit him on the neck. He went into shock. His airways were closing up. We call it firing up the engines. For your trip to the other side, I mean. The outrangers kept shouting it was a type of gadfly. Hypoderma bovis toxica. Typically, all you need in such cases are serum, an anti-shock kit, and water. Something was off. A gadfly's bite leaves a swollen lump with 2 red patches around it. There was a lump, but not a lot of redness. And I saw that lump start to blacken, as if necrosis had already started. I'd only ever seen wolf spider bites progress that fast. What puzzled me is that there was only 1 bite mark, and spiders leave 2. I knew I'd have to cut off his head if it had been a wolf spider, otherwise he'd die. I'll keep listening. Spiders sometimes lose their pedipalps, fending off wasps or other damn things. I conclude it must have been a wolf spider cripple. Made my choice. We already asked about this from the other guy. Keep listening. He took a puff and spoke in a whisper. I loaded this Michael guy into the ambulance, and he literally lost his head before the captain's eyes. He survived, but Basilides sued me. I checked later and found that Sosnowski had pheromone injections done to protect against insects, but not against arachnids. Let's ask about the injections. What injections are you talking about? He tried to hide his bewilderment. It's like a vaccine. Makes us exude pheromones that keep away the nasties behind the ABB. Everyone has a standard set done in childhood, but to go past the barriers you have to have them all. Didn't you learn that in school? His eyes narrowed as he puffed the cigarette, as if trying to remember what he just said. The bite mark was destroyed by decapitation, and the blood from his head machine washed, so there was no solid leads in the investigation. And eventually the court ruled there wasn't enough evidence, so it went cold. The stench remained. I was let go, and since I wagged my tongue a bit too much, I couldn't find any decent jobs anywhere. So you see, that is our story. He looked at the cigarette butt smouldering between his fingers and tossed it away. I saved his boyfriend. Was I right? I don't know. We can ask about Lower City first before we offer assistance. What's it like working at the bottom of the polis? It may sound dramatic, but I'd say like a knife to the throat. Shootouts happen here, and so I need to patch up gang war victims. There's still lots of valuables down there to fight over. Maybe this man got caught in the crossfire. He sighed, exhaling a cloud of smoke. Offer assistance? I could help you with this green problem. His shifty eyes looked up at me. Really? Would you do something to make the captain leave? Provoke him to hit you or something? Find something to discredit him? I don't know if we quite want to agree there. Bad neighborhood. That adds into the gunshot one. We still don't know what the last one is. Interesting. Do we agree to discredit him? I don't know. We could agree. I'll try. Pax nodded and sighed with relief. Thank you. Can I have access to the medibot? I'd like to use your medibot. He squinted and asked, without taking the cigarette out of his mouth, what do you need it for? I'm conducting an investigation. I could use this equipment. I could use some peace and quiet. I've got a problem with a toad here. Besides, it's against protocol. He laughed. Something gurgled in his throat as he spoke the last word. Okay. Interesting. So, we've got actually a little bit more to do. Sorry, for a second there I thought that was Ken down there. Oh, it's some graffiti we can look at. Anyway, what I think we're going to do is we have a lot of people still left to talk to. We're going to end the episode here. And then next time we're going to continue investigating the crime scene. So thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.